Are we feeling good?
I'm feeling good.
I'm feeling
pretty good.
I'm here.
Is everyone's phones off?
Yeah, baby.
Marshall gets away. Marshall's still going. Marshall's got Richards coming up outside. Now inside.
All right, what's up, nerds? Welcome back to the Barflies podcast, episode 26.
The big 2-6.
Would you call this like the half century of the year?
Well, it's halfway for us because we initially said for the frequent flyers will know that we wanted to go to a year's worth of episodes, so 52 weeks. So this is the halfway mark for us.
So we're raising the bat.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, I know what you mean, but
It's a premature raise the bat.
yeah, premature, but
Look, we'll run with it.
still a race.
Have been very consistent.
Who's this bloke? By the way?
Joined always today by my good friend, comrade, Alexander Russell, and special guest of the podcast, Mr. Jack Worland. How are you today, gentlemen?
I'm great. How are you, mate?
Fantastic.
Mate, I'm happy to be here. Honestly, I'm pretty sprightly for a Monday. I'm up and about.
You are?
Yeah.
I am not. I had a bit of a 4-day weekend, if you will. Thursday to Sunday. Had a bit of a nudge each night.
Yeah.
Didn't feel
as you do.
As you do.
Most
I didn't
weekends.
feel particularly great this morning. I got a bit like when you get like a bit shaky. I definitely had a bit of the shakes.
You had shakes on a Monday.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
Monday shakes. They're consistent each week. I don't know how you guys do this on a Monday because I'd be shaking.
Sometimes we come in and it's like we haven't been bad for a while.
Yeah.
But like sometimes we'll both come in and we'll just be like legit, just rattled.
Shambles.
Just
Shambles.
rattled.
Running on empty,
Running
as
on
they
empty.
say.
That's what they say.
Running on fumes, even.
Yeah, that's when we get a coffee and a bacon egg roll and we G up again.
We try and
We
lift.
come good. We come good.
I'll preface this for our non-sports sort of
Listener.
listener. This is going to be a pretty sport-heavy episode, in particular with the Rugby League season on the horizon. I don't know if you know, but it's kind of up our alley.
Yeah.
We don't mind a bit of rugby
Well, this
league.
is our expert guest.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
We're calling him the expert?
We'll call.
Expert in very big quotation marks.
Yeah, yeah,
As much of an expert as you two are.
yeah.
Sure.
At running a podcast.
Yeah.
Okay,
No,
so pretty good
yeah.
then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so pretty elite.
Yeah, pretty high level stuff going on here.
Please see audio issues from the last 4 weeks.
Yeah.
Anyway, so are we going to... Do we want to do a little bit of a quick recap from the weekend before we get straight into the Rugby League? Because I feel like we crossed
worlds.
We crossed worlds
crossed
on
worlds.
Thursday night.
Yeah, there was a bit of
Friday
a
night.
Friday night,
Yeah.
excuse
bit
me.
of a merger, as you would say.
You would definitely say that.
I went to hang out with Cody's mates, Jack, Jamie. It was just the two of us. Just the three of us.
I only have two mates.
Yeah.
Four's a crowd.
Yeah,
four's a crowd.
It would have been too much. And then Cody went and hung out with my mates in the bubble,
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Urco bubble.
in the Urco bubble.
There's a few intruders, but we're always happy to have them.
It's a big bubble.
It's
Yeah, it is
it's
a
getting
big
big.
bubble.
Always growing.
It's
Yeah.
getting
I feel.
big.
Always growing.
To be joined eventually, perhaps?
We never know.
See what
Never know
happens?
the future has in store, mate.
You don't.
You
No,
never
it was good though. Like I called you on Friday on the way home from work, and I was like, or you'd message me saying, "What are you doing?" So I called you. I was like, "What's doing?" And you were like, "Oh, I'm going to hang out with Jack and Jamie." And I was
Yeah.
like, "Oh,
I thought you were going to be there. I thought you were going to come as well. But
Oh,
then you were
Oh,
going-
yeah. I'll just say
Hey,
now.
he doesn't come to the
I gave
best,
Cody a call after I gave you a call. Actually, it might have been before even. 1:30 p.m. Give Cody a call. See if he's interested to come around, looking after a house.
No.
Come around for a few quiet ones.
Mm.
Radio silence.
Mate,
Radio silence all night.
mate, he's
Until you see on his stories under some bridge doing things he shouldn't be.
doing God knows.
we went to.
He's immune to coming back
Yeah.
over the beach.
So scumbag from Cody.
Too good for us now.
I had tickets to it. It was an
Oh,
event
yeah.
in Darling Harbour,
Yeah.
so I was
Yeah.
locked in.
Yeah.
Did you miss that as well? You missed a memo on that?
Yeah, no, I didn't.
That
hear about
ticketed
Did you not
event
get
that
it?
no one else was.
Missed the memo on that
Yeah,
one.
weird.
To be fair,
Weird.
Must have been an Urco bubble thing.
Yeah, it didn't make it there.
Yeah, no, didn't.
People say there's a beaches bubble, but
Yeah.
the real bubble's the inner west bubble.
Yeah.
They move out here and they're
Yeah.
They don't listen to anyone.
Nah,
Too
nah.
good for us now.
Well, I sent you guys like a telegram, but obviously didn't make it.
No. Well, obviously.
Yeah. No, we went to well, I decided like hell late. It was like a $50 event. And then someone like messaged the group saying, "Oh, I know a guy who can get half price tickets, and if you use your
Don't discover.
Dine Discover, you get it for free." So I was
Oh.
like, "Say less."
Not bad.
Count me in.
That is a say less moment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was pretty rattled because I went out on Thursday night as well, but
Did you back it up?
I did the big lift.
And you were working a new job.
I work in a new job.
And you were hungover first week of this new job, mate. It's very unprofessional.
It's on brand.
It's on brand, but it's
Massively on brand.
Yeah.
Massively on brand.
Well, I'd
be more surprised if Cody turned up fresh for every shift last week.
Hates
you
being fresh.
would actually probably work worse if
Yeah.
you were fresh.
Well, you wouldn't know what you were doing. You'd almost have like you'd be too much energy.
I'd be too sharp.
too
Yeah.
much clear thinking.
You would make no mistakes.
No.
You would be freaking yourself out.
No, exactly. And then like it would be setting the bar way too high for like the future. You know
That's
what I mean?
Oh, that's a I didn't think of it that way.
See,
That's a great way of putting it.
it's like
First week you want to do all right,
Mm.
but you don't want to be like
You wanna
top
be-
of the class sort of thing.
you want to
because
be good enough.
That's the level you set. You want to set a bar, and then maybe next week you sort of lift it a bit.
Yeah.
And then you can drop. You can drop up and down. You can fluctuate.
levels.
yeah.
And then you can prove you're a big game player on the big moments. You know, when it gets real busy.
yeah, and I've
Then
done.
the big lift comes in.
Oh, the big lift will come in.
And then it's like, wow, he's really good under pressure. You're like, yeah, mate.
Yeah, but really, I'm just doing the bare minimum.
Yeah.
He looks like he's about to faint, but he's still doing his
looks
job.
good.
He's
Yeah,
still
yeah.
functioning somehow.
Yeah, exactly. So should we just get into some rugby league? Should we just rip and tear?
Mate,
This is the unofficial. Oh, actually, no. It's the official season preview.
Yeah, we kind of did say that on our Instagram story.
It's been coming.
For all we've been saying the last few weeks that we were going to do it, and you know, for the frequent flyers that look at the stories and whatnot, we only did one. We didn't really advertise it. we didn't really advertise it much apart from the Savo. But we this is the rugby league special
We've
with
been
a special guest.
We've been saying it though.
We have been saying it.
Yeah.
Um.
I feel very privileged, I will say,
Yeah.
before we get into it,
Oh,
to be the first guest on
You-
the
Well, it is.
Barflies podcast.
You're christening.
I thought it was going to come a bit earlier, but you know,
Well,
the so-called half century. It's
Yeah,
fine.
it is.
That's
It is.
fine.
It is a
It
privilege.
is. I guess it is.
Yeah.
It's quite a big moment.
Yeah.
It's a
The
big moment.
26.
And as our first guest, you've got one real job today.
Yeah.
And that is to do the beer
So,
review.
if anyone is still listening, because we just prefaced that it's a rugby league
Yeah.
podcast,
Mm.
you probably know what beer this is.
Yes.
We've got the
Bloke in a bar.
lagers.
Nice. You know what? He's done
I'll
something
hand
new
these over
here.
to
that-
you
he-
to get
he-
out.
He's done something that we haven't done on the show before. He gave a really good look at the whole six
Yeah.
pack on the camera.
Yeah.
Adding something new straight away, you know.
I'm
It's
gonna put my mic
it's
down
good.
so I can get these out.
Okay. Man.
Yeah, as I was saying, if you're still listening because you have the slightest interest in rugby league, you probably have heard of Denham Kemp's Bloke in a Bar Lager.
I think. Look,
Um,
I've said it before. I'd say like 80% of our viewers are male, so I feel like
Mm.
a lot of them would have heard of.
And
Bloke in a Bar.
Yeah.
And if they're listening to you, they probably have similar interests.
I would say
Yeah.
that.
And
That's fair.
rugby league gets a mention most pods,
Yeah,
even
that's
in the
tr-
off season.
That's true.
It does.
So
That's true.
we try to do a bit of research on where it's brewed.
Couldn't do it.
Couldn't find it.
You know, it's a learning curve.
How many people does it take
Well, obviously
to
more than
work
3.
out where a beer's
beer.
brewed? We thought probably the Sunshine Coast because that's where his bar is. But
And we've always said we go off speculation here,
Yeah.
so that again we will do today.
Yeah.
Brewed
Stick-
on the sunny coast.
You know what? Stick to your guns. That's what they say. Trust your gut. Stick to your guns.
Cheers.
Cheers.
boys.
Moment of silence.
Yeah.
Have you had it before?
All right, first time.
Really?
I just drank right into the mic, so I don't know.
No, it's
Whether-
It's good.
I've just
That's sound effect.
yeah.
Then
Yeah.
they can get a real taste.
Yeah.
They can get
Or
a real
you know-
ear for the
You know,
freshness.
like 7D sound you get on YouTube.
No.
You know that?
What is that?
You like
Yeah.
put headphones on, and it's like
So I don't-
insane sound. Like, and if you get real into it, it feels like the sound is like moving
Yeah.
around your head.
Really?
They do
If
like
you close your eyes,
Yeah.
it
I've
feels
never
like
done
it's
that.
around your like it's moving around your head. It's insane.
the most popular one's like a haircut. So like you can hear like the buzzer like behind your head.
True.
But like it full sounds like it's right
to be
there.
fair, when you're gaming, playing something like Fortnite, and you've got the headset on, you know, you almost get into that zone Because, like, you know, when you're in a house or something, or you're in a building, or even in COD or something, and they're like running around, you know.
Well, that's exactly what
If
we're
they don't
talking
have
about,
Ninja Pro on, then you're going to be able to hear them.
Yeah. And if you play without headphones that don't have the surround sound,
Scat.
you can't compete.
Not the same.
You
I
just
love how
can't
we- I
compete.
love how we get there.
Yeah, sorry. Not to get sidetracked.
We get to, yeah.
No.
Bit of first-hand sidetrack
Yeah.
for Jack here.
Yeah, get used to it and strap in for the dribble.
Yeah.
You know, like let the dribble reign free because
Let it flow through you.
Okay. Okay.
let it pulse throughout your veins.
Don't put. Yeah. Okay.
Just quickly, though, what do we think about the beer?
Well, I've had it before. I've had it at Chubb's before.
Yeah. Also have had it before, but they market it as a session drink.
Yeah.
And I think that's marketed pretty perfectly.
Pretty accurately.
I would
Like
agree
you
with
could
that
you
statement.
could drink plenty of these.
Yeah.
Like it's not like you're not like smashing down like
No.
20 Cooper's Greens.
No.
No.
Because
Well, you could,
you'd fill the size of a house.
Yeah.
And you literally couldn't move.
Yeah.
If you had to, you could. But these make your life a lot easier.
Yeah.
Like if your hands were tied and you're pinned against the wall and they're like drink 20 Coopers.
Yeah.
You could probably do
Yeah.
it.
I feel like
Drink
could-
20 Coopers, otherwise
That
you'll
could be like
die.
a- like a
You could probably squeeze them in.
That's like a
Just-
Navy SEAL training. Drink 20 Coopers and go and run 5Ks.
It's a dribbler training.
Yeah. So he comes back
Yeah.
alive.
If that was Navy SEAL training, call me a Navy SEAL because I'm sure we've all done that at some point.
But yeah.
Like when you run home from a night out, you know, you get off the bus and you run home.
Mm.
Just me.
No, I've walked home from Manly a few times. It's like probably like 8Ks.
That's too far to walk.
Yeah.
So look, I'm not a massive run home guy because anyone that knows where I live,
It's a while away.
it's straight up a hill.
Don't
Like a 25-minute, 30-minute walk. It's like a solid 15-minute run.
You're
Up a
also
hill.
like to be fair though, you're also like when you lose it on a night out, you're like,
Oh yeah.
I need my bed and I need it in 20 minutes and I don't care how much this Uber costs.
Yeah, if this Uber costs $350, I'm getting in it. And if no one's with me, like right now when it's pulling up, you're not getting in.
Yeah.
Which is a terrible trait. I understand.
well,
I
you know,
apologize. I'm not that much of a scumbag, but on a night out, I can be.
Look, it's a character flaw. We all have them.
we've all got
Yeah.
them. And we've discussed them
Look,
heavily on this podcast.
We unpack
this is a
character flaws every week.
This is a good journal of a couple blokes with some character flaws. So don't worry about that, mate. Make yourself right at home.
Yeah.
Shoes
I
off,
definitely-
tea and coffee.
No, I definitely feel comfortable amongst
Yeah. No.
this trio.
Yeah, thanks. mate.
All right, so obviously the final round of trials was over the weekend, I want to say. I think we have a week off now before round one.
Yeah.
Would I be correct in
Is that what they
saying
do?
We have
Yeah.
a week
Week
off. I
off,
think
correct.
round one is like Thursday week.
Yeah. Pumped.
Okay.
It kind of sucks
Oh.
to have a week off. A little bit of a tease of the trials, but
Mate,
Yeah.
I cannot
It's pretty naughty.
yeah, it's a bit naughty.
Yeah, a bit cheeky.
I cannot tell you how psyched I am for the season.
Oh.
I walk around like just half chubbed the whole time.
Yeah.
just like
Just
full
thinking
on,
about
just
it.
like just get me that Thursday night game, Penrith Manly.
Oh,
Is that what it is?
That's
Thursday
going to be
night?
a
Penrith
cracker.
Manly.
Oh.
That's going to be unreal.
And I think there's a good game on the Friday as well.
We'll be at pitch.
The game is we will be away.
Is it Broncos Rabbits?
Yes,
Yeah.
it is. First round Reynolds.
Yeah.
Reynolds against
At Suncorp.
his old club at Suncorp.
Mm.
Big crowd in for that.
Huge.
Big crowd.
Well, if Suncorp Stadium's not floated away with the floods that are up there at the moment,
True.
mate, it looks insane up
Nice.
Yeah.
there. Yeah.
I was really impressed by Ilias on the weekend. I'll say that.
Yeah.
Um,
Looked good.
Obviously I don't know much about him. Haven't really watched too much.
He only had the
Ilias,
one
don't-
game last year.
I don't watch too much Q Cup. Does he play
Yeah.
Not Q
New
Cup.
South Wales Cup?
Well, he
yeah.
only had the one game.
South
last
based
year.
in New South Wales.
They are.
Yeah.
They are based in
Yeah.
New South Wales.
Predominantly based in New South Wales, so it'd
Yeah, I
probably
would
be
say
New South Wales.
most of the time.
New South Wales Cup, I'd lock in.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we could lock that in.
We'll lock
Yeah.
in.
But like his kicking game just looked really sharp. Like I don't know. I don't really know what to say. He kicked a 20-40.
I saw that on
2040
yeah, I
never
did
been
see
kicked.
that. I did see that.
Did I miss? Was there a 2040 at all last year?
No, there wasn't. No one's kicked one.
There wasn't one, right?
No, there was
Unless
one.
Cherry Evans kicked one, maybe.
There was one.
Did Cherry Evans kick it?
No, it was Brandon Smith.
It was Brandon
It
Smith.
was Brandon Smith.
How did you get that?
in the
Nice.
Storm game? I remember watching it.
Nice.
Yeah.
Was it deliberate?
Yeah,
or
it
was
was
he sort of
deliberate.
just
It was
kicking to get out
No,
of
it was
trouble?
deliberate. It was on like
Oh,
it was.
they
out
go
of-
hand in hand.
They're
It
pretty
was-
much the same thing.
No, it was out.
but
Of,
you know what I mean? Like
it was
third
out of
tackle
dummy
there.
half. I remember he just like scoops it up and.
But that's exactly what the 2040 is there.
So
for.
we had one
Yeah.
in 25 rounds plus finals.
Yeah.
We've only had one.
Yeah.
I think Cherry Evans tried one though or something.
Yeah,
I've got
he-
him in my mind for some reason.
No,
so-
he's prone to
Yeah.
like 40-20 though.
Not to get sidetracked, but what I feel like the 2040 is just
Underutilized.
underutilized like massively. For only one, I don't remember many people trying them that much
no.
either.
No.
Like it wasn't as if people were going for them and they just weren't coming off.
Yeah.
I don't remember it being a play.
Especially like if you're getting absolutely smashed early in the game. You know,
If Melbourne
if
have
you're
got you pinned on your own line
line,
on
like-
the fourth tackle.
like just go for it, or even on the third, just go for it and slow the game down. Like,
Yeah.
get yourself a breather.
100%. And like it's like you got quite a big target as well because you're going to assume the fullback is still like in
And
the
the
attacking half.
And the wingers,
the wingers will be high.
yeah.
So you've got like 40 meters to kick the ball into touch.
Mm.
I'd back a lot of the halves to do, if not all.
I
Of the
feel
halves
like
to
I
do
feel
that.
like Cam Smith had that rule been there when he was playing. I feel like he would have kicked at least 2 or 3.
where he'd like jump out to the left and kick back across his
Yeah,
body.
I reckon you would have seen him take a couple.
I mean, look, I don't know how profound of a statement that is when you're talking about the greatest player of all time, but for sure,
Oh well, I couldn't see it happening.
I could. Yeah, I agree with you.
Yeah,
Cam Smith being good at something else in NRL.
What do you mean?
Probably going to happen.
Yeah. Oh,
With the-
right. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah,
you can
yeah.
probably like lock that in.
Yeah.
Like if a 20-40 had to be kicked,
Who would you
Cam
pick?
Smith's in
He's
my
doing
top
it.
3.
he's doing it.
Right
If
now,
not
like
top-
right now in his suit when he's working for Channel 9.
I reckon he
in
could
the
still
in the
do
dress shoes, he's kicking one.
it. Well,
Do you know when Lockie tried to kick the conversion
and he fell over.
Yeah.
Well, I reckon will Cam Smith kick any in the Maroons camp this year?
Oh, I'm actually really
With
excited about
Slater
that.
and Thurston.
I reckon that, like, I was thinking about this in the car the other day. That'd be like it being in year 9 and being coached by like the year 12s. And I feel like in year 9, like if
feel
you're
like
getting
there's-
coached for the school soccer team, like I'd just hang on, hear me out here.
Can't hear you.
I'm not like I just feel like year 9s have like a lot of respect for the year 12s, even though there's only a 3-year age gap. Also, these are 3 of the greatest players of all time in their positions.
Yeah.
So I'm just saying I don't think that the age gap being so small and them only like I think a lot of people spin the yarn that like, oh, they've only just retired. Like I don't know how good they'll be as coaches, but like I'm scared. I'm
Yeah,
scared.
I think they're gonna be pretty. I think they're gonna be a pretty dangerous team. Pretty good combo, and they'll definitely have the boys G'd up.
Yeah.
So I feel like it'll be a very Queensland spirit kind of series. Like they kind of missed that the last couple of years with the New South Wales getting on top.
Yeah.
And I feel apart from the one when Bennett got them over the line for that one.
And Munster.
Yeah. But I feel like that'll be very much what's the word?
Re-established?
Yeah, re-establishing that team.
And people sleep on Billy Slater as like even myself, like you hear other rugby league players talk about him as him being like one of the most like knowledgeable people, like in terms of like analysing the game. I think I was listening to a Ryan Pappenhausen podcast, and he's like, "Dude, Billy Slater just like stands up in the middle of the room, and everyone just like, it's just like no, it's like
His
unreal
commentary
to
is
see.
usually pretty good on
yeah,
Channel 9,
yeah.
actually.
I really like Billy Slater. I like all those guys, to be honest.
I didn't like them when they played.
No, I like him.
That-
Yeah,
Controversial.
I do.
Okay.
Well, I like him anyway.
All right, just quickly, we've got a bit of a layout for this episode. So should we go through the kind of the programming of how we want to kind of go today? So the listener or the viewer, the frequent flyers, has an idea of what we're gonna be covering in the NRL topics.
Something to look forward to.
Yeah,
I like
you
that
can-
idea.
So you can, if you don't want to listen, talk about the Tigers, because who wants to listen to people talk about that?
Hey.
You can just skip to the Dragons, which everyone wants to hear about.
Oh,
Leafs
everyone-
aren't bad either. So
Everyone's dying to hear about the Dragons.
yeah, well,
And
they're-
I
they're
definitely
a
don't
team to
talk
watch.
about the Tigers every week anyway.
No,
so it's like,
never.
So, for starters, we're going to do just like a brief sort of unpacking of our own rugby league teams and just how we think the season's going to go. I feel like, kind of as a supporter of your team, you can kind of sometimes offer like a bit of a dynamic perspective on what's going to happen. Then we'll cover premiers, spoon, Dally M, top 8. Then most improved.
Open conversation.
Open
the top
conversations,
eight,
all
the
of
top eight.
these. Most improved team, biggest bunch of losers, and maybe just a few other talking points for the season.
Yeah.
I'm very excited for this year.
Yeah, so am I.
Um,
Like we've said last year, talking about this season, Jack, hopefully you agree as well, expecting a lot closer of a competition this year with the wealth... the
Being
wealth
redistributed
of, redistributed
evenly.
between
Yeah.
the teams this year.
Yeah, I agree. I also like the new rule, the new 6 again rule, where you get
Oh,
you
yeah.
get penalties coming out of your own end.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Um,
because you can still take the quick tap and
Yeah,
there's
you
no
could- yeah.
marker, and there's no marker.
So you can still play quickly if you want,
Mm.
but if you've been under the pump and someone's kicked into the corner and they're just going to lie on top of you and take the 6 again, because last year we saw it all the time.
Mm.
They would kick into the corner,
Yeah.
lie on top of them like once, maybe twice,
Yeah.
get the 6 again, but it allowed them to get a rest
Mm.
first of all, and then
Set
set their
hold.
line, and they would just get 3 or 4 fresh forwards just like
Mm.
Yeah.
screaming
Mm.
straight into that player bringing it out of their own end.
Well,
So I think that'll
Yeah,
make the
definitely.
game a lot better to watch.
Yeah, I agree. And like we were saying on Friday, I think that rule for a team like, just say a good example would be the Rabbitohs of Damien Cook. You know, he's got his hands on the at dummy half. The penalty gets called, no markers. The forwards in the middle slow getting back, and he just takes the tap straight away.
Yeah.
Like,
So the option's still there if they want it.
yeah,
Es-
it's
essentially
still
is what
there.
you're saying. Yeah, yeah.
But
yeah.
I feel like that's, I feel like or even like a Reed Marnie as well, I feel like will excel in that kind of role.
Exactly.
Mm.
Yeah, I think, like Jack's saying though, in general, it'll offer more like, because that rule in the past or last year was really favouring the defensive team.
Mm.
Because like Jack's saying, it allows them to set their defensive line. And even if they keep giving away 6 again, it's like you're still pinned in your own half.
Yeah.
So the option to kick yourself out is like,
Yeah,
is
and
cool.
like it sort of brings back that skill of kicking for touch. Like it seems like a simple thing, but it's such a big difference. I remember Benji used to like kick from the tightest angles. He'd like
Yeah.
banana kick them,
Yeah.
so he would get distance out of them. I used to pull my hair out
Yeah.
watching Mitchell Pearce
Yeah.
kick for touch for
Kicked
the
it
Roosters.
15 metres.
What are you doing? You just got a penalty coming out of our own 20. We've been under the pump,
Yeah.
Oh,
and you
I
just
hate
kicked
that.
it 10 meters. Like it would
I hate when
infuriate.
I
me.
hate when they do
It, like
that.
for a halfback, you should be able to get your team 30, 40 meters, which I think is better than getting a 6 again
Like,
coming
I
out of
even
your
back
own.
No,
No,
myself
definitely,
to do that.
definitely.
But
I
then
even back
again,
myself to kick further than Pearce was kicking.
yeah,
back then.
mate, it was literally like, do you understand? Like,
Yeah.
if you kick it further, it's better.
Yeah.
Like it got to that point
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
where you're like, are you being?
Yeah.
Are you for real?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. For sure.
You cannot be kidding. And on that, do you want to go start with the Roosters, by the way?
Roosters.
Yeah.
Okay. A lot of the rhetoric I've been hearing about the Roosters is that it's theirs to lose. I've heard that phrase multiple times.
Okay.
I don't think it's ours to lose. I
Okay.
think we've got a great squad, obviously, as I get grilled about all the time.
It's got a
The old
good
salary
depth.
cap sombrero. What a funny joke that is every
Yeah,
time you
yeah.
hear it. It's definitely not like beating a dead horse.
So
No.
it's as good as the Tigers in 9th joke.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How funny is
But
it?
to be fair, that one's pretty funny.
Sure.
anyway, I've been hearing that.
Nice.
I think we'll be top 4.
Oh,
I think you can lock in top 4.
Mm-hmm.
We always struggle around Origin time because we
Oh.
lose Teddy, might
Oh.
lose Kiri,
But I f-
Crichton, Tupou maybe.
Mm.
He might get another year.
Nah.
Who knows? Anyway,
He's dreaming.
I think lock us in for top 4, but there are a few question marks. Like we don't know what our best backline is. We've got we got Nguama, we got
Sawali.
Momorowski, Sawali. We've got a lot of sort of
Manu.
outside backs. You've got to try to fit in. So I don't think we're 100% set on that. Sam Walker and Luke Keary haven't played together.
No.
Sam Walker showed signs last year that he was elite, but then also showed signs that he was still a bit immature.
And also, he got
a lot
battered
to
around.
learn.
He got battered around.
Oh, he
as
gets
well.
targeted in defense.
gets
Like
absolutely
I remember watching
smashed.
Roosters versus the Titans, and Dave Fafita was literally just
Just
running
lining
over the
up.
top of him last year. He's bulked up,
Mhm.
but I think they'll be coming into this year sort of with a fresh mindset because last year was a bit of a write-off with the amount
Yeah.
of
And they blooded a lot of players last year, like Billy Smith.
yeah.
He was
that's-
good.
Yeah, Billy Smith's
And who-
another
Adam, is it
outside
Adam
back.
Kerrigan?
Adam Kieran.
Kieran, yeah. He was quality towards the end
yeah.
of last year as well.
Yeah, so there's a few question marks. We got a new strength and conditioning coach in to try deal with all the injuries that we
Yeah.
had last year.
2 torrid years of injuries, to be fair.
Really bad. And Luke Keary, you expect him to come back like he used to be, but you just never know with an ACL. Like a player as good as him,
Mm.
everyone's just assuming he's going to come back and rip like he used
Well,
to.
isn't he
Whereas,
missing the first couple of weeks as well? Is that
well, they're being really
careful?
with him. So they're being really careful with Teddy. So there's like 6 or 7 players that won't play a game before round 1. Like Hargraves won't play. Torquiaho won't play.
But
Teddy won't play. Kiri won't play. There's lots.
they go deep though. Like, well, they didn't have those players a lot last year as well, and they still managed to scramble into 5th.
Teddy
So-
and Manu were sort of the only sort of
Mm.
studs that we
Yeah.
had week in, week out.
And-
everyone, like Crichton was in and out.
Yeah.
So,
Well, Radley as well, getting suspended
Radley
a lot last
got-
year.
yeah.
So he'll be. I feel like he'll be back for a bit of vengeance this year.
Yeah, one thing I am excited about is Connor Watson.
Yeah.
And how we put him in.
Yeah.
Because
absolutely.
every Knights game I watched
He was their best
last
player.
year, he was by far and away their best player. And they just got rid of him. So I'm really interested to see how we use him. I don't know how we will.
I reckon he'd
I
be
don't
a
know
good.
whether he's
I reckon he'd be a good teammate as well. Good club.
great. Yeah, good bloke.
Yeah.
I don't know whether we're going to use him, like give Radley a rest and he goes in at lock
Mm.
and then Radley comes back on and then he moves to hooker. Or whether him and Verrills will just interchange. So I'm really excited about that. And then Joey Manu, I think, is just going to rip.
Oh,
Um,
last
last
he's in my
cou-
super coach.
Last couple rounds last year before Latrell ended his season with the shoulder charge, he started to play like that Tommy Turbo role in Origin where Freddie sort of let him float around. And he started to, the Robbo sort of let him do that. And he had complete reign, like free reign on what he wanted to do. So I think Manu's in for a big year. Roosters top 4, but it's not theirs to lose. Like, I'm
Well,
hearing
it's
a lot
the
of people
Panthers.
say.
It's still the Panthers to lose because they did win last year.
Yeah.
They're still the reigning champ. So
I think
I feel like if the Roosters didn't make the grand final, I would be pretty shocked, to be fair. But I still think it's definitely, especially with, their key. They still have the key players in their spine, the Panthers team. So, don't write them off.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with that. I don't think it's the Roosters to lose. Definitely not. I don't not next year when Brandon Smith gets there. Different story. But like at least for the
Are you
time being, I
kidding me?
still feel like
Are you
like
kidding
you
me?
say,
I agree.
there's still heaps of questions. Like a lot of the spine, like the fact Kiri and Walker haven't even played together yet. Like they both are elite halves. So like still like there's going to be a high expectation. But you're right. Like the combination hasn't been built on the field yet. So
Yeah, I think main point, there's a few question marks that people are sort of glossing over
but in
more than they're not giving.
not giving enough credit.
big,
for.
there's big questions there, I think.
But in saying that, if any club can sort of settle in and find their rhythm throughout the season, I think the Roosters probably will, and we can lock them in for the top 4.
Oh,
Yeah.
lock them in.
Yeah,
Not top
and
three.
we-
well, in our discussion later about the top 8, they're in there.
Yeah,
They're in there.
Yeah, we'll
Yeah.
save the Melbourne yarn for them because.
Yeah, no, we won't get into that now. I'm just saying,
No.
a little
Okay.
spoiler for later on.
Well, we had a bit of a discussion about the Dragons yesterday after their,
Mm.
trial performance on the weekend.
Yeah, the 2 trial
some
performances.
unreal attacking rugby league.
Well, yeah. Well, classic Dragons is all I'll say. This is, at the start of every year, being Dragons fan, you're like, it's on. Like, we're going to do it this year. We're going to get back into the 8, et cetera, et cetera. After the first couple games, we lose 1 or 2. That turns into losing 5 in a row. We're outside the 8.
But-
And then it goes win-loss, couple. You know what I mean? Like, we
can I
get
say
out of
t-
sync.
Before you go on though, like last year, you guys were cruising, and then the barbecue thing ruined you a little bit.
No, we weren't cruising.
You weren't cruising, but you were looking good. You were top. I think you were 6th.
But I think that plays into Xander's point a bit.
Yeah.
Like at the start of the year,
Mm.
for as long
Yeah,
as
it
I can
does.
remember,
Mm.
the Dragons have been buying grand final tickets
Yeah.
after round 6.
It does.
Dead
Like
set.
for like the last 4 years.
Well,
Yeah.
with that one year, I think it might have been the last year before Gareth Widdop left. We were first at
Yeah.
round 10, and then we didn't make the 8.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that was
Yeah.
like,
No,
how's
no.
that even happen?
My point is just like I feel like last year the circumstances on which your season
Mm.
declined was sort of from like off the field as opposed to like on the field implosion.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yes, but on that as well, the amount of times in all those Dragons games where you watch the 80 minutes, and for 60 minutes you're like, this is what is actually doing, like this, you guys suck. And then they play 20 minutes of good footy like throughout the game in like pockets, or they might go 10 in one half, 10 in the other kind of thing, and they in that short amount of time they score like a bunch of tries, they come good. Like the amount of games they won last year at the end of the second half, like they would score a bunch of equalisers or late tries. They do it all the time. Even good example. I think it was like when Manly were like really coasting, like doing well. Tommy was in the team. You know, Dragons were beating them like 16-12 at halftime, and I think the game ended 32-16. And I was watching. I don't think they completed a set in the second half. So I just went, that's the perfect game to sum them up. Also lost me a multi that night. I was filthy. Not happy.
Yeah.
One of many that year, I'm sure.
No,
No, it was only one.
Just the one.
Yeah, you're one of those guys that's like, I'm definitely up. I'm definitely up on sports bet. Like, there's no way I'm down because I'm one of them as well. Like, I definitely am not up.
No.
But I'm like, if I win like every bet this
If
week,
I won
maybe.
another couple thousand, I'll be back.
Yeah.
Also, shout out.
How's this, by the
I'm
way?
not that far in the hole.
How's this? Our mate Harry won a
Yeah.
15K bet today. He won 15
On what?
grand.
It was a 7-leg Premier League multi. He sprinkled some draws in there and a few just like straight wins.
Hello.
It got 6 out of 7 won. Woke up in the morning. How good's that for your Sunday morning? Wake up, check your bet slip. 6 out of 7 are good. The last one was for that night. They were offering him 16K cash out or let it ride for 60K. He cashed out for 16.
Smart.
He needed a draw in the Wolves West Ham game. West Ham won 1-0.
Oh, good. Yeah. Good on him.
And
Well
I
done.
think he pulled it out before I told him to. But no one we know is in a position to pass up 16K like that.
Nuh-uh.
But it was a bit of a degen bet. It was like $50 on like a 150 to 1 multi
Yeah, right.
that he put on a
Yeah, I was
Saturday
gonna say,
night.
yeah.
Like just not
Cheers.
thinking about it.
Yeah.
Anyway, back to the Dragons.
Well-
Shout out Harry.
Yeah, shout out,
Congratulations.
He told me that today so blasé. I was like, no, someone said 15K. And I was like, Harry, how much did you win? He's like, 15. I was like, 15 grand. He's like, yeah.
Yeah, it was
Like-
15.6, so I round up to 16.
Okay.
Decent.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Wow.
Just to like lead you back into the Dragons yarn.
Yeah.
I just feel like your roster this year finally just feels like a little bit more sustainable and like especially with Anthony
Solid.
Yeah, a bit more solid.
I
And,
would
like,
say I would say balanced.
Yeah.
When I
Yeah.
look at it, it looks so much more balanced.
they're
With,
all, yeah.
with Aaron Woods and Francis Molo.
We've got a lot of options forwards, and then also there's a lot of back. You know,
Zach
back
Lomax.
in the back line. There's
Freak.
plenty of options.
Did you
as well.
see
That
what he
assist?
did?
Yeah, I messaged Xander straight
Oh
away. I was
my
like,
That
God.
was a freak assist. But yeah, a couple of young players like obviously Sloan is the talk of the town at the moment.
He's
it
my
seems.
favourite player.
Everyone's been kind of chatting him up. So hopefully he was fantastic at the end of last year, but hopefully he follows it up. I am excited. I'm not getting my hopes too high because that happened like every year.
Mate,
It's
you'll
not-
win round 1, and you'll be
Yeah,
up.
and
You'll
I'll
be up.
and it'll be a different story next week. But yeah, definitely keen to see where it goes. Hopefully they just, like we said, it is a bit more of a balanced side this year, and hopefully that means a bit more consistency, unlike the last couple of years.
Sloane's got that really like just natural rugby league player vibe about him. Like he's got the Cody Walker kind of thing going on, where like he just does things and like
He's almost like a poacher in football.
So, yeah,
he just seems like he's just there in the right spot
he just
all
makes
the
things
time.
happen. I reckon for sure.
Yeah, like
I'm
the
behind
Olivier Giroud of rugby league.
Yeah,
Yeah, something like that.
yeah.
And especially like I was saying, like with Anthony Griffin as coach, as opposed to like McGregor.
Mm.
I just feel like your ship is headed in the right direction.
Well, he was
a
the
lot
guy
to
that
be
kicked
excited
kick
about.
off not to say we're going to be like the Panthers, but I'm just saying he kicked off the Panthers rebuild. That was him.
Look, you just
he
put.
was there.
You're
Are
not
you-
saying anything. You're just putting facts. on
That's
the
true.
table.
That is true, though. That's a fact.
Look, it's true, but you just compare the Dragons to the Panthers.
Yeah, I'd said they. Well, no, I did just disclaim. Not
Well,
the
no, it was the Panthers of 4 years ago, not the Panthers of
Okay.
now.
Okay, I'll let you off.
Because they were in the top 4. He brought. I agree.
No, it's a long bow, but
Yeah.
I've said it. I've sent the arrow, and I'm not. I can't take it back.
It's fine.
I don't think it is
Yeah.
that long of a bow to draw. Like it's like he brought through. He was kind of coaching as all like the young players sort of came through.
Yeah, true.
Like obviously Ivan was there when Nathan debuted, but no, he wasn't. No, he wasn't. I take that back. No, he wasn't. He who debuted Nathan? Was it Griffin?
oh no, you're telling the story.
It must have
mate.
been.
Yeah.
So I would say it's kind of like they're in a similar. I'm not saying they're going to go on to do the same as Penrith, like you're saying. It's just like they're in a similar sort of area, if you shall.
Rebuilding.
Rebuilding.
Okay.
You could do with a Nathan Cleary though.
Oh, could do. Yeah. Oh, Who couldn't?
Well, Amon's kind of like not comparing him to Nathan
No,
Cleary, but he's a
Amon's-
young half coming through as well at the same
yeah,
time.
but he's
That's all
a
I'm
bit
saying.
different. He's not like a Nathan Cleary.
Nathan Cleary
He's a bit more razzle
didn't
dazzle.
rip until like his 4th year though. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, I couldn't believe that. Nathan Cleary is going into his 5th year.
Yeah, he
This year?
debuted ages ago.
He's played so much footy
yeah,
already.
I know.
It's like Mitchell
If he
Pearce.
if he plays a full career, he'll go
Like
past
400
Smith.
games,
He'll
yeah,
go
yeah.
past
well,
Smith.
that was like Pearce.
if his shoulder holds up, because
Yeah.
he's already had shoulder ops.
Pierce had bulk injuries as well and started really young.
Yeah, Pierce has played heaps of games.
And if he,
yep,
didn't get injured, would have played more.
is he in the Super League now?
Yeah, he's in the Catlin Dragons. Do you?
Over in France.
Yeah. Do you want to?
Enlighten us on the.
Look, I don't have too much to say about the Tigers. I talk about them every week, so like, I kind of just feel like they'll kind of go how everyone expects them. I'm like, that kind of like 12th, 13th kind of area. I think they're kind of just holding out a little bit for next year.
I've got them pretty low.
Yeah,
I've not got them high on the ladder.
12th,
Let's put it like
13th
that.
is not high. 13th is.
I
third
feel
last or fourth
like you don't. How long is Dewey out for?
till like around it's 6 to 10, round 6 to 10.
That's a lot of footy.
It's a lot of footy.
If like say he comes back, best case round 6.
Yeah, best case.
You guys could be in real trouble. Madge might be gone by the time he comes back. Like your season could be done after 5 rounds. I think.
Is this like serious? It's like
Well, you
like
got
Buzz Rossfield over here.
yeah,
like,
well,
bloody hell.
It's
I'm
a
just-
bold.
I'm
It's a
just-
bold call, but I'm
Like
not,
it could happen. You could say that about anyone though.
Yeah, but I can see it happen. No, you can't.
That's not true.
I could
Like,
say that
that's
happening.
I could
If it was
not
gonna
say- I
happen to a
could-
team,
No, like
I-
the bottom 6. I mean, like obviously not the Roosters or Melbourne.
I could see.
But I'm just saying.
I could see like it happening to like the Tigers.
Yeah.
In the way I can
Madge
see
will
it
be under
happening to the
pressure
Knights.
if they lose.
I think the Tigers need a very good start.
They, need
They
to win some
can't
games.
go 1-4.
Look,
No.
I literally was just saying. I feel like they'll go how most people expect them. I feel like to sack Madge at this point would be silly.
It would be silly.
There's definitely like no better coach on the market other than like Shane Flanagan, but I don't even know what the go is with him. But yeah, I don't know. I'm like not expecting too much. I just feel like the club's in like to provide like a bit of a different perspective. Like the club's in kind of like the best position they've been in off the field in the last sort of like decade. And since Tim Sheens has arrived, like I don't know how much he has to do with it, but like we've made some pretty good signings. We re-signed Uto Ikamanu, which was huge. Sean Blaw's on a long-term contract. Like we've got some good young players there. Appy
You
and
signed Papa Leahy as well.
Papali'i's coming.
I didn't know that
and
until I
Coruscant.
was watching the Eels trial on the weekend.
No, we've spoken about it.
Yeah, but it just
You forgot.
just
Yeah.
gone out of my head. And I was
Yeah.
like, that's like
Huge.
it's pretty huge.
Yeah, but so a few other things as well. Like we've got our like center of excellence is about to be finished the next few months.
Yeah.
So like for the first time, the club will have like a steady like because we were using like Concord as our training facility, which is
Right.
like 30 years old.
Right.
Yeah.
So
Did
we've
you-
actually got like a state of the art, for lack of a better word,
Yeah.
training facility, and our deal with we've got a deal with like I think it's like the Sydney Football Stadium is it Allianz
Okay.
Stadium at the
Yeah.
moment, where we have to play half our home games there, and that also ends at the end of this year. So they're going to take 8 of our games to Leichhardt and 8 of them to Campbelltown, hopefully. So
Sick.
we'll have a way more solid like
I love when they play the
foundation
games at the
and, like-
smaller
Oh,
grounds.
how good
Yeah.
is it?
I love like Belmore.
Even
when they
Bel-
play
yeah,
at
Belmore.
and stuff.
so it just feels like
Brookie as well.
it just feels like the Tigers is like kind of getting a grasp on like their identity again, which they haven't had for the last decade. So the club's headed in the right direction. Obviously, like you have to do it on the field, like that's the big thing, and we haven't done it. So time will tell. But like not
Like-
expecting anything crazy.
With the Tigers, I get frustrated watching them,
yeah.
and I have no affiliation to them at all,
No.
apart from you.
And
And
so
I
you can
like-
imagine
and-
what it's like then.
Oh, it is the most frustrating thing. Like you sit there on a Sunday Arvo, because quite often they get the Sunday Arvo
Yeah,
game at
they do.
Leichhardt, and you're sitting there, and for 20 minutes
Yeah.
they play like a top 8 side, and then the rest is like they're
Very similar. to the
they're like an
Dragons.
under 18s team. They make mistakes. They do everything wrong. So I can't imagine, how frustrating it must be
Yeah,
for Tiger supporters.
totally.
But I think next year, you guys should make the 8. But this is why I think this year is sort of just a filler year.
I agree.
It's kind of just like a nothing year. for
Okay,
the
so
Tigers.
on the back of talking about our teams and their relative spots, premiers and the spoon. I'm going to go. I still think, Panthers comp to lose, but I reckon Roosters will win. I reckon I'm backing Roosters.
You're going Roosters all the way.
I'm going Roosters. I think they'll win.
Okay. We get our home ground back in the
Yeah,
finals.
Exactly.
Brand
So
new
it could be huge.
The brand new SFS
Massive.
is done.
Massive.
Because watching footy at the SCG is
not the
Scat.
same.
Not
So
great.
scat.
No, it's not,
Not
the same.
great.
So shit. It's not a footy ground.
yeah.
Who you guys got? Have you guys got someone different for premiers?
It's such a hard question, but my gut is always Melbourne. Like, I think you could ask me at the start of every year, who do you think's going to win the comp? And as long as Bellamy's there, and as long as they have a spine as good as theirs, like they've got the two best hookers in the comp. They've got one of the best halves pairings, if not the best, maybe behind Penrith. And they have Pappenhausen, who last year missed so many games
Missed a lot of footy.
and still was like elite. Like, you can remember games
Yeah.
where he just took them over.
Well, I feel like Harry Grant missed a fair bit of footy
And
last
Harry
year
Grant
too,
missed
didn't
a
he?
lot of footy. A lot of
And
injuries.
like Munster had an average year and they still came like second and made it to the prelims.
Yeah,
So like
and Munster's off the beers,
Mhm.
which is huge.
he's off the cells.
He's
Yeah.
off the he's off the
So
off the liquid gold.
Yeah.
So that's another big. And then the only other thing is Brandon Smith's last year there,
Mm.
and I feel like he's like
Not to
he'll be
mention-
a massive
playing-
part of their culture.
Also, like both the Bromwich brothers and Kafusi's last year.
Yeah.
True.
I've got
All off to
Melbourne.
the Dolphins.
And I think Nelson, Big Nelson, is off to rugby union as well.
I
Oh,
thought he
that's so
ba-
lame.
I
I
thought
hate
he
when
backflipped on that.
It's not confirmed.
Have
if
to
so.
confirm.
Yeah, it's not
Speculative.
confirmed. If he's
Speculative.
leaving.
Yeah.
I think there was a bit of like umming and ahhing because he wasn't vaxxed.
Ah,
Yeah,
okay.
but I don't know what's happening.
Yeah,
now.
right.
But
right.
no, I'm with Jack. I think Melbourne. I feel, and again, like they're flying under the radar. People are saying
They do every
I don't-
year. It's the most frustrating thing ever.
I know it
Like,
annoys me.
even when Cam Smith was there, it was like, oh, Melbourne, this might be the year they slip back. Oh, what do you know? Top
No.
two, and
Yeah.
they make the grand final again.
Yeah,
No.
They just,
You
Yeah.
can't
no,
sleep
they just
on
get
them.
it done.
You can't sleep
But
on
I
them.
feel like, no, I'm not going to say that.
Go on.
say it.
I was going to say, like, the amount of stars they have in their team, it almost rivals the Cooper Cronk, Smith, Slater.
Like quality,
team.
like amount of good
Yeah,
players they have.
maybe not as good as
Last
like the
year for
English and
sure.
Falau team,
Yeah.
but the last couple of years,
well, the
where
best
Yeah, the legal, yeah.
legally fielded.
the
team.
the legal team.
Well, they won the most games ever. A team's won last year, did they not? In a row or something?
Yeah, they did. They won
Yeah.
17.
Yeah.
Like,
So,
Munster, Jerome Hughes has turned into an absolute stud.
They
Top
had-
two
yeah.
halfbacks.
Pappenhausen, and then the two best hookers. Like, on paper, they would. I don't think it's that outlandish to put
Say
them
they would
against
win. And I mean, Brandon
that
Smith.
great Melbourne team.
Brandon Smith will be playing 13, you'd guess.
Yeah.
So they'll both be starting. I can't wait to watch
Well,
that.
they can put him at 13 now because he's leaving. They can
Yeah.
be like,
Doesn't matter.
suck shit, play 13.
Doesn't
like,
matter.
Yeah.
And he'll do it. He'll be. I'm
Well,
gonna play 9 of the
Finucane
Roosters.
was there before.
Big loss.
Also true.
Big loss.
So that was holding him up. And for Spoon, well, Cody, you didn't have anything to say about premiers. Are you pretty much in
No, I said Melbourne.
No, he's
Melbourne?
I said Melbourne.
For Spoon, who we thinking?
I'm just saying this because I just like. I don't really know who's going to get the spoon. I feel like it's pretty up in the air.
There's like two or three.
Two pretty obvious ones. So I'm saying this as like a bit of a, out there,
No.
outlandish call.
Say it with your chest.
Yeah.
I feel like that the Titans are going to have a terrible season.
Really?
Yep. And I feel like the fact that Tino is their captain and he's 22 kind of says a bit about where they're at as a club right now.
Mm.
With the greatest respect to the Titans. I just don't really... I feel like they're lacking a bit of leadership. I feel like they're lacking a bit of, general sort of direction. They feel a bit especially last year, and me and Jack have spoken about it, just a bit too reliant on, Fafita. I don't know. And they don't have a hooker. They don't really have an established 13, I don't think. Oh, no, they have Tino, my bad. But,
Yeah.
I don't
Well,
know.
They don't
And-
have an out-and-out hooker. I think, is it that Aaron Booth?
Yeah,
guy
and
that's
there's
gone
another guy
from-
there. I can't remember his name.
Aaron
Not-
Clark, isn't it?
Yeah,
Aaron
I think
Clark.
So. And they've got Toby Sexton playing 7, who's played sub 10 games, and AJ Brimson, who's just moved to 6. So
and,
I'm like,
and Jaden
again,
Campbell.
He's a throbber. He rips,
Oh.
but he hasn't played 6
I wouldn't
much.
sleep on Brimson. I wouldn't sleep on him.
I'm sleeping on him.
I would.
I'll also sleep on Brimson. I don't think I don't.
New
I would
combos.
not want AJ Brimson and Toby Sexton in my heart.
Well, how did Ponga go at 6?
With Aaron Clark at 9.
How did Ponga go at 6 a couple of years ago? Not great.
No,
Like
he,
the transition
he
to-
moved back real quick.
The transition
real
from
quick.
fullback to 6 is not that smooth. Unless your name's Tom Trebojevic, he could probably do it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Or Tedesco. But like other than that, like
Yeah, unless you're just a freak athlete that
Yeah.
no
I
one's
feel
ever
like-
seen.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Apart from that,
yeah.
look,
Actually, G, I did it as well.
Again, freak
Yeah,
athlete.
a freak
no one's ever
athlete.
seen
Yeah,
before.
true,
so-
To be fair, I don't know. I feel like the Titans, like last year, they, they've lost a couple of players, but someone like Toby Sexton at the end of last year, he's played less than 10 games, but he could have been the most consistent half the Titans had the whole year.
Is that saying much though?
But I'm just saying, doesn't that put them in a slightly better position than?
Well, I'm just saying the fact that he's their best option is my concern.
Well, and they still finished what, 9th? No, they finished 8th. So I feel like I wouldn't put them. I don't see them making the 8, but I don't see them coming in the bottom 2.
Look, put me on record for it.
Yeah.
I think they'll be in like around round 25. They'll need a few results to go their way, and they'll
Yeah.
need a win
I think,
to make the 8. I don't think they'll be last.
and I don't think they'll be missing.
But
Through
I-
that Origin period, I don't think you'd really want to verse them because they're not going to be, apart from Tino and David Fafita.
And AJ Brimson. So like,
Do you reckon
they're
Brimson
three
will
best
play
players.
14
Yeah.
for Queensland? You don't reckon Reece Walsh will?
It could be anyone, to be honest. Fuck, cross that bridge when we get to
Yeah,
it.
true. I don't know.
like,
Yeah.
but
Who-
it's likely he'll be at least 18th man, don't you think? He was
True,
their best
actually.
player when he played last year in that first game. Or was that the year before?
That was the year before. Yeah, maybe then.
Yeah, and Queensland shut the bed with their 18th and 19th man
Yeah,
last year.
exactly.
That Reid Marnie thing was.
Yeah. So maybe.
Crazy.
No. Actually,
Who have you got? Was
I
that-
don't know.
who have I got?
Yeah.
I am actually going for the spoon. I think the Knights could quite possibly get the spoon this year.
I'm the same.
I think, apart from obviously like a handful of good players they've got there in Ponga, Frizzell, and the Saifidi brothers, I really can't see them doing too much.
The fact
Or
that
Dane Gagai's there this year, but I don't think that's going to save them.
the fact when
Who's there? Hooker?
when Brayley blew out his knee
Mhm.
in preseason,
Massive loss.
I instantly thought they're bottom 2.
Huge loss.
Instantly, like,
Huge loss.
I think it's the 9 position is so important.
Mm.
Now with the 6 agains and how quick the game is, you need a 9 that knows where to distribute the ball, knows when to run, has a good kicking game. And Brayley was their captain, sort of like the heart of that team, him and Ponga.
Yeah.
Now they've completely lost that. I think
No Connor Watson as well, like we said before.
also
Like,
the most ridiculous thing that happened in the off-season was the Knights getting rid of Connor Watson.
agreed.
Yeah.
It makes no sense. Connor Watson would not have been asking for big money.
No.
He plays every position. In the Roosters preseason, he's been training at fullback, 5'8",
Yeah.
hooker, lock.
Mm.
It's the whole field.
Could play back
He
row.
could play in the front row if you
Yeah,
really want, like
literally.
if you were that short.
Dead set.
Well, I was thinking
And
the
it's
Roosters could
exactly
just,
what-
like bring him on in the middle.
Like he'd just
They
be,
wanted
you'd think
to.
he'd be the 14. Like literally, he'd just play 14.
He's so
for the
quick
Roosters.
and he tries hard. He never gives up. He's
Yeah.
a perfect player for a coach. They got rid of him. I think Ponga's got 1 foot at the Dolphins.
Nah, he said he's staying. He's committed. He said it
Yeah.
during the week. He's like, I'm
I
committed.
know. I saw that quote, but
Things change.
Things change.
mate, Kalen, if they come last and they don't sign anyone,
He's going for some dolphin money.
Yeah,
oh,
I
he's
think so.
Wayne is splashing some serious cash at
Yeah,
him.
I think
yeah.
so.
He could be like the highest paid player
Mm.
in the comp.
If he
Yeah,
wanted to.
I
for
could
sure.
see that happening.
Um,
And then I just think in the halves, like they've got Adam Clune, who has actually looked pretty okay in the trial games, to be fair.
As has Clifford.
But again, probably haven't played much together. And Clifford, as much as like when he's good, he can be a bit hit and miss. At the end of last year, he was a little bit hit and miss, I thought. So we'll just see. We'll just see how they go.
Yeah. The thing with that halves pairing is like there isn't one solid one that you completely trust that you
Yeah,
can fall
can
back
rely
on. Like,
on, yeah.
if it was Pierce and Clifford,
Mm.
they would be closer to 8th
Mm.
for
Yes.
me. But
Yeah.
the fact that it's Clune and Clifford, like if one's having a bad game, you can't 100% rely on the other one to pick
And
them up.
No
if
noted
you got-
goal kicker as well on that team.
Yeah, Kalen, kind of.
Yeah.
Can he kick?
Kalen's
What
kicked
can't
for
he
a
do, to be
while.
fair?
Yeah, right.
I think Kalen will win them a few games just himself.
Mm.
Also a bit injury prone, so
Yeah, and
you can't
during that
rely on him to
Origin-
be there.
And during that
And you'll
Origin
lose-
period, they'll miss all three of their best 3 players will be out. So if they win a game,
Who?
during Saifidi, Ponga,
Gagai.
Gago.
Okay, yeah, true. Good point.
So I think it'll be the
And
Knights.
then like their X factor in their backline, Bradman Best, is made out of glass.
Can be a bit hit
absolute
and-
glass cannon.
He's
Yeah.
got that, like, he's still growing into his body kind of thing, I think,
Yeah.
that Tedesco and Tom had.
It's all lower leg injuries. Like
Mm.
he's built so big,
Mm.
but like it's a bit like in the NBA. Not to go completely off topic, but Zion Williamson
Mm.
is such a heavy boy,
Yeah, big
heavy
unit.
boy, and he hasn't played all year.
Mm.
Similar to like Zion's way bigger than
Bradman
Bradman Best, but a similar thing because it's always like lower leg
Mm.
issues.
He'll come
So
good.
I would
Oh, no,
love to,
yeah, he's an absolute
'Cause
gun.
he
It's
could-
just not
'cause-
this year. They're not going. I don't think they're going to.
because he could absolutely, like if he was healthy for a year, and like obviously learnt throughout the year, he could light it up, absolutely light the comp up like fast and strong.
Yeah.
He does it in spurts. It's just
Yeah.
Mm.
week in, week out. You can't rely on him to
To-
be there doing it.
To bring the goodies.
Agreed. Let's move forward because we're at 50 minutes already.
Oh,
so
wow.
we've probably got like 20 more minutes.
We can
Tops.
We can get longer.
I think the camera will die.
Oh,
But
true.
yeah, see how we go.
Dally M, quickly.
They don't need to rush through it. But
No, I'm just
trying to move us forward.
Yeah. Well, the next bit,
Yeah.
the top 8 is the open forum discussion. Well, the head,
Yeah.
well, it all
Yeah,
has been. But
sure.
With the Dally M, we try to pick
It's a smoky Dalian.
Smokies because I originally just had Tom.
We could just go Tom and Cleary.
Tom and Cleary had probably the.
I'm going Nico Hines.
Okay.
I'm going Nico Hines, Dally M.
Anything behind that?
I just think whatever game the Sharks play, he's going to be at least one of the 2 best players on the pitch.
Yeah, it's a good point actually.
So I think and he got a few votes last year as well.
Oh yeah, he was up there last year.
Like
yeah.
he still got a few last
Yeah,
year,
fair
and he
enough.
didn't play every game. And if injury free, I could see him. And he's not going to be. You wouldn't assume he's going to be playing for New South Wales, even in that 14 role. They quite like Jack White in there.
He might be like that 18th man though, because they
Yeah.
still miss games when they're
True.
18th man. I'm pretty
Well,
sure.
that might be
so.
Pappenhausen as well.
That could be.
So you don't know. So
the schnack.
injuries depending and whatnot, definitely Nico Hines is my choice.
Okay. What about you, Jack?
I was originally thinking Luke Keary, but I think I'm going to go Teddy.
Mm.
Petty.
He's just so lethal in that Roosters backline and everything goes through him. Last year, he sort of was just that one person that you could rely on.
He touches
Week in,
everything.
week out, he is a bit of a hog, so
True.
you'll see him dummy and go himself,
Mm.
so which means he scores. But then he also has a pretty good cut-out ball
Forward
to the
pass.
winger.
Pretty good forward pass in him.
Oh, here we go. No, out the hands backwards,
Oh,
floats
okay.
forwards.
Yeah,
One of
yeah.
those ones.
Yeah.
I just think he's just in the prime of his year, in the prime of his career. Sorry, you've got people saying that he's not the best fullback in the world anymore. Tommy is, and I think he takes that a little bit.
Takes it personally. Takes
Yeah.
it personally.
To quote the
Yeah.
the great Michael Jordan.
Yeah.
I think
Tedesco.
I think Teddy.
Okay.
Teddy's mine.
Mm.
Good pick.
Mine's Munster. Again, like not really like anything crazy, I suppose. Like Tedesco, Munster, Nico Hines, like they're still freaks.
Mm.
But off the beers, again, people sleeping on Melbourne. I'm a big Melbourne fan. I think they charge this year. If their spine can stay like injury free, Munster's due for a big year. I think that off-field incident last year rattled him a little bit.
Yeah.
Obviously, if he's off the beers, if Cameron Munster is off the beers,
Lighting the fire a little bit.
yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
I think he wants to be a good rugby league player again, and I think he will
Well,
be.
is he going to be captain this year, or did he get taken away from the captaincy group?
I don't know. Good question.
And I think the way all of that came out would have embarrassed him
Yeah.
a bit because it was such a public thing and everyone saw the videos. Like I think he really, I think
on Facebook. and
yeah.
whatnot.
From what you're seeing, he sort of like bunkered down and
Yeah.
got his head screwed on a little bit more. And he's probably thinking, who knows how long Craig Bellamy's going to be there. I swear, like every year, there's always talks about how long he's going to be at Melbourne for. So you might be seeing this as sort of like a last year with Bellamy.
Last dance.
That just came to me then. I don't know how much.
We could still be
Wait,
sitting here in
spec-
10 years.
Well,
and
that
it'll
is,
still be
you know
coaching,
what?
so, like,
Welcome to Barflies podcast. That was a bit of speculation. That was out of the blue. Goes
Bellamy,
this could be
Bellamy
Bellamy's-
leaving.
Yeah.
Leaving Melbourne confirmed.
That is a Barflies special
Yeah.
bit of speculation.
You're rubbing off on me already.
Yeah.
Don't let Buzz Rothfield get his hands on
Yeah,
that. You know what I mean?
Save that. Keep that stuff.
Shout out to Buzz.
Yeah.
Sorry, Couch.
Yeah. Top 8.
No? Anyway. There's Rugby League.
Moving
jokes.
swiftly on.
Yeah. Swiftly on.
Swiftly forwards. Where are we at?
Top 8.
Top 8. I think we've all got the same top 5.
Storm, Panthers, Roosters, Manly.
Eels.
Eels, Souths.
I don't think. You know
See,
what? Sharks are in there for sure. And
Who's your 7 and 8 then?
I'd say, so top 5 in no particular order: Storm, Penrith, Roosters, Manly, Eels. So we've got to fill 6, 7, and 8.
Sharks have got to be there.
I
disagree
have
with
the
that.
Sharks 6, Dragons 7, Souths 8. I think South without Reynolds and with Latrell getting suspended a lot could potentially miss the 8, but I do have them at 8.
Yeah, I think
But
they
yeah.
still do have a good forward pack, and Damien Cook, Cam Murray, and like still have some, and like Campbell Graham as well. So yeah, I think to not have the Rabbitohs, you know, considering they came 3rd last year and were in the grand final, not having them in the 8 seems a bit not on. So I'll go South in my 8 as well.
I'll have South too.
It's kind of that last spot is really anyone's because as much as I want to put Dragons, I'm also thinking the Raiders could be a good shout.
that was a team that missed out for me. Was the Raiders. I think they'll be stronger than they were last year.
I think
Last year was just that was a weird year for them.
Well, they've
Yeah.
got a solid 7 again now, so it's like,
Yeah.
I don't know. I just feel like they could rip. Jack Whiten's kind of like flying under the radar a little bit.
it
Everyone
just
forgets he's an
Oh,
animal.
did you also see his new haircut?
it looks absolutely
Me and Xander
so
could
good.
not get over it on
It
Friday.
was
He
so-
has
it's
got
so
the
filthiest
filthiest mullet.
Yeah.
And it was like fresh for the game as well. So it was
Yeah.
like all clean on the
Stays.
sides
So
and
mullet-
curly at the back.
Yeah.
He had water in it. Or
Yeah.
something.
But Mullet Whiten could be the most dangerous Jack Whiten we've seen yet.
Don't sleep on Mullet Whiten.
Don't.
Was what we were
don't-
saying.
Yeah, do not keep one eye open around that bloke because he will fucking.
Yeah.
He's going to do some damage.
Bit of a menace on the piss as well. So
yeah. Yeah.
gives it a fair nudge.
Yeah, he gives it a nudge.
Allegedly.
Very
Allegedly.
Rugby league of him. You know?
Yeah.
I've got the. I don't want to. I don't have the Sharks in the 8.
That's
Who have you got?
That's blasphemy.
I don't know who it is, but I kind of feel like either I'm not totally sold on Brisbane without a 6.
Yeah.
But I-
and without a real 9 as well.
That's also true.
Yeah, they don't know who their 9's going to be.
Um,
Because they got Turpin and then Corey Pax was playing a lot.
Yeah,
in the
they got
trials.
Billy Walters as well. He's not great, but he had.
He's
going
going
to
to play 6. You hear that?
He's so average. At
Billy
6.
Walters is going to play 6.
So
Apparently
average.
trained the house down, as they say, in
right.
pre-season.
Surely Albert Kelly gets a nod there. Is that like still not rip?
Yeah, he was decent last year.
good.
I just feel like they can't. The Broncos have a really good. I really like their forward pack. Looks good.
Yeah.
Like apart from obviously not having a hooker, and that's kind of a bit of a key.
Mm.
Well, they've got like that's kind of like a key thing. I think not having that, but everything else when I see like looks pretty good. Like
Yeah, I struggle to put any weight
Katoni.
behind a team that doesn't have a 9.
Tony is back.
Tony Staggs is back.
There was talks of him playing 6, but is that
No.
That's
that
died
just
down.
been
Yeah, it died down.
because they said the only reason he stayed was because he wanted to play 6?
He's
but
too good as a strike
He's-
centre though.
Yeah, he's a gun.
And-
He's a
yeah.
freak athlete. I
from
can't
New
wait
South
to watch
Wales
him
as
play.
well.
Smoky.
Oh,
Yeah,
Katoni.
Smoky.
We got Katoni and Lomax,
in the wings.
right centers.
Like
Campbell Graham as well,
Yeah,
waiting in the wings too.
and that other bloke, I forget his name. Tom Trebojevic.
oh yeah. No, we're saying after Latrell and Tom.
Oh,
Obviously.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
yeah,
Yeah.
some young throbbers.
Yeah,
Tom,
absolutely.
Tom, not old, but also not as young as Lomax.
No.
That's true.
So
Wait, is he not? Are they not like the same age? Are they both not like 24?
I think Lomax. Is a
I
little
don't
bit
think
younger.
so.
How old is Lomax? He's been around for a while.
I don't. This is speculation. This
Yeah,
is pure
I
speculation.
think you'd be surprised.
If I had to speculate,
I'd say
Lomax
they're a
would be
year apart.
23
I
and
thought-
Tom would be 26.
yeah,
Tom's
I
24.
thought. I think about
Tom's
that.
24. You can lock that in.
He's 24.
He's 24.
Well, that's scary.
Yeah,
That's really fucked up.
Jesus
Yeah,
Christ.
he's 24. He's so young.
Maybe they are the same age.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they're like a year apart. Maybe you'd be surprised.
Well, that's elite from Tom.
Yeah.
Then
Wow.
I'll just say that before we move on because I dropped the Sharks. I'm making the 8 bomb. I'm just a little bit concerned about, like, don't get me wrong, if they made the 8, wouldn't be surprised.
Okay.
I'm just saying, new coach, new combinations, no established. I'm just not sold on Nico at 7. I think he's a really, really good 6. I think he's a really, really good 6, and he rips as a half. But just like in terms of like directing the team around and stuff, he could prove me wrong. I'm just not sold yet. I thought Trindle was going to be the 7. So it surprised me to see Nico in the 7 in the trials.
I feel like even if he's playing 6, he'll still be directing the team around.
Yeah. He was really good in the All-Stars game.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just think
Nico's
Nico's the real deal.
Oh, yeah,
Nico's
yeah,
the real deal.
For sure. I don't know. There's something about a team, like same with you guys saying like without a 9. I'm like a team without like a 7, because again, you could say Nico's a 7. In my opinion, he's a 6.
I don't know about this.
You don't have to agree. I'm just saying, in my opinion, Nico's a 6. Because he's so like off the cuff and all that. But I don't know. I kind of just still would back Canberra a little bit over the Raiders.
Fair.
I feel like they've got a bit more of an established.
Canberra over the Sharks.
Canberra over the Sharks. I just feel like Cronulla over the next 5 years, powerhouse club. It's just this first year that like worries me a little bit.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean?
Yep.
I know what you're saying. I don't agree.
I'll agree to disagree
Yeah.
on that.
So I'm.
But then again, I have the Sharks just making it in and the Raiders just missing. So I probably don't disagree with you as much as I think.
Yeah.
I'd have the Raiders.
I'd even have the Sharks in 5th if I was doing the table. They would be 5th, pushing 4th in my books.
Well, it's on record now, so we can circle back.
Yeah.
On episode 52.
And just talking about the top 8 and whatnot, I almost think Manly, almost on levels with the Storm, going in very underrated to this year. Like, just kind of coasting nicely into the start of the year. No one's really talking about them that much, but
Few
few
injuries
injuries
in pre-season. Schuster and
Olakawadu.
gone.
But I mean, they've proven, like last year, every time they had someone out, the next guy who came in was just as good. So I feel like, and like they're not missing anyone like of a key player, you know, and got the same squad pretty much from last year. Have the same squad for this year and the season after.
Old man foreign.
Yeah, old man foreign.
Old man foreign.
Hit
Aging like a fine wine.
Yeah. I love watching that bloke hit the gap, but he just doesn't have the pace anymore, so he just gets caught.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look, I think Manly, it's like, and again, I'm not saying anything profound.
They're sitting
here,
pretty.
But it's like, if Tom's fit. I'm not saying he's not going to be fit, but I'm saying as long as Tom's fit, Manly rip. You
He
know what I
seems
mean?
to have worked that out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, let's hope so.
He played both trials. He started
He's
both
sweet.
trials for Manly.
He's sweet.
And like he was getting pumped in those trials.
No Corso dashes this year.
Yeah. No.
No. But like I said, if Tom's fit, mate, they make the 4. I think.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
And
They're just another team that might struggle with depth around Origin time.
Yeah.
As long as they manage that period well, then yeah.
I reckon that would be one team you would absolutely hate to verse. Like if you were like the Roosters, Penrith, or Storm, I reckon in like a finals match coming up against Manly would just because they would give you such a tough game.
Well, that kind of contradicts them from last year because they didn't beat a top 4 team last year, I don't think. Did they? Remember that whole yarn was kind of going on at the end of the season. They hadn't beaten any of the hard teams.
Yeah.
But all their games
they-
were like they were big. Like every time they versed them, I felt like they didn't get run over by any of the top 4 teams.
Yeah.
They did. By Melbourne. Melbourne pumped them in the finals.
Melbourne
that's true, actually.
killed
Melbourne,
them.
yeah.
Morgan Harbour had one of the
to be
worst
fair,
defensive games of all time.
And then South
The
put
semi-
30,
the
scored 6
semi.
tries against them in the prelim.
They shut the bed. in the
Actually, maybe
finals
I'll
last
retract
year.
that.
So,
I'll retract that. I'll
Yeah.
retract that.
It's
Look, it happens to the best.
Happens to the best of us.
Yeah.
I remember who kicked the 2040, but I don't remember Manly getting pumped in
Yeah.
the finals.
You remember a round 3 game where Brandon Smith kicked out a dummy half?
Yeah.
But forgot when Melbourne trounced
Yeah.
Manly in the finals.
Yeah.
Happens.
Oh, well.
Happens.
The brain works in funny ways. Hey?
It does. It does.
So to sort of bring it home here, your biggest bunch of losers for the year, or like I don't know, maybe it's the biggest change in a team, like going from.
I reckon Warriors fans. I reckon it could just be like another with like every year you go, oh, they look all right. The Warriors look
the
good,
Warriors, isn't it?
and then every year they just fail to. Like we haven't even talked about them making the top 8. They've got a good team.
Could you say it's the best Warriors team on paper we've seen in
Like
a while?
their forward pack's insane, but you don't even talk about them because you're like, well,
SJ, Reece Walsh.
yeah, but you just
You and
like,
Aitken ripped last year
But
at
you
second
just-
row, just
But-
out of
They're
nowhere.
just not going to make the 8. I
but
don't
they're just the Warriors. Like
Yeah.
they just
They remind me of the Tigers, but like
Yeah.
worse, like
Yeah.
more frustrating.
Yeah.
Because
they have
they-
a way better team.
they've got
team
better
the
team than the Tigers,
totally.
but they are more Tigerish than the Tigers.
Yeah,
Like
true.
they do more Tiger things. That, like
they're a bit of
they're-
DMC about them.
yeah,
They've
massive
heaps of
DMC,
about 'em.
massive DMC energy for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah,
And they
So-
always seem to finish lower than us as well.
Exactly.
They always finish in that bottom like 3 or
Yeah.
4. Which
I think I think the fact that none of us even
Even
brought them up even before this. None of us have spoken about the Warriors at all.
No.
They've got Sean Johnson, who's not like that old yet. Reece
Still-
Walsh at fullback.
Sean Johnson did he top assists last year?
He was up there. He's got, I think. Well,
The year before he might have even topped it.
I think it was the year before. He didn't
Yeah.
play much last year.
yeah. But they've
Warriors. I had the Knights. The Knights came 7th last year, and I would not be surprised if they came last.
Yeah,
I think they could drop
Also-
that much.
also
They could drop
much.
9
Well, yeah,
positions.
agreed.
also a good shout.
I
They
think
could
we can
drop
disagree
9
with that.
positions. I also think South could go one or two ways. Either their new halves pairing clicks and they're just the same as they were last year, or the way I am sort of leaning towards is that they drop from 3rd to 8th, which is quite a considerable jump considering they made the grand final last year.
Exactly.
To then come 8th is
That is a
not a great year.
no. Yeah, I would.
Then we got to go
yeah.
to Newcastle though, don't we?
I would say Newcastle, and I would say the Warriors aren't too far behind Newcastle as the biggest losers for the year. And no talk of the Bulldogs this whole time because
They're not going
they're not going to come last, but they're not going to make the 8, are they?
Bit like the Cowboys. Like everyone said, I don't think the Cowboys are that bad, but they're also nowhere near the finals.
Well,
in my
on
opinion.
paper, their team's better than the Tigers, respectively.
Yeah.
Respectfully,
Respectfully.
their
Sure.
team is way better than the Tigers team. So, if the Cowboys are getting talked about coming last, then the Tigers are definitely finishing.
I had
last.
I
Do you
had
know
the,
what I mean?
Yeah.
I had the Knights and the Tigers as my two potential wooden
Mm.
spooners.
I think they're all in the same boat.
Yeah.
Cowboys, Tigers, Warriors.
They could it's so like
Newcastle.
it's harder to predict the bottom 8 than the top 8 because the bottom 8 literally
Could be any.
could be anything.
But in saying that, like each of the bottom 8 clubs, like we said at the start, are like slightly stronger. So I think that'll be good to watch as well.
Yeah.
Like they'll all be
Absolutely.
slightly better than they
Absolutely.
were last year.
Expect.
So,
Do you reckon?
Rugby League.
Yeah, I'm very excited to see what happens this year. It's a bit of a reset almost. It feels like
The NRL was chaotic.
And this will be
yeah.
the first year
without COVID
since
for a while.
COVID where it's just been there's no worries of games getting cancelled.
Mm.
It's
or
just the Warriors.
you
are
might
still
get
in
a few
Australia, I
yeah,
think.
yeah.
I think
Another
they're in
reason why
Australia
the
at the
Warriors might be the biggest loser.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And not it's not like in a good
They
way.
could finish last. We didn't even really talk about them. They could easily finish last.
I don't think. Yeah, I don't think.
Look, it's not out of the picture.
Again, just because of that Australia thing.
Yeah,
But they did open. They did change the quarantine rules for New Zealand today. So
yeah. I don't think they'll finish last, but I just think with the team they've got, I feel like they should be in the conversation, but they're not. So I picked them as my.
But like
my
to
loser.
preface all of this, and I said it before we turned the camera on earlier, like oftentimes when like the most obvious team you think will finish last, like
Doesn't.
there's always another team that just
Like the
bottles it.
Broncos that year.
The Broncos
first-
bottled it. The
when they-
Raiders bottled it last
Broncos
year.
Yeah.
were like tipped for top 4 and then they just lost. They lost.
Yeah, they
Every
won.
game.
A wooden spoon.
They won the first 4 games of the year. And
Yeah.
then they had the COVID break, and then after that they just
that was the s-
absolutely.
Like imagine one of like the
collapsed.
top 5 players gets injured in round 2. God forbid it happens, but
Yeah.
let's say it does, and just totally throws a spanner in the works. One of those teams. It's like you can't see that stuff coming.
yeah.
So
Yeah,
Yeah, there's only so much you can do in a preview.
there's only so much you can do.
we
tried our
we
best.
can only speculate,
Look.
and that's what we do best.
Yeah, look, so don't hold us accountable for anything that we just said in the last
Yeah.
hour because it's all just
Hour and
speculation.
Hour and 10. Yeah.
We've done well to cap it at an hour and 10 because as
It
you
could have
can
gone on
probably-
for so much longer.
As you can probably tell, we do like to have a bit of a yarn and
That
a dribble
could've-
about the NRL.
Yeah.
that could have gone for 4 hours.
Oh, that could have went for a while.
If there was no timer, The sun
If
might
I
have
had
been
no,
coming
if I
out.
had nowhere to be tomorrow, and we had another battery on the camera,
Yeah.
we're going for it.
Yeah, it's probably good that the camera has like a
Yeah.
like a cap.
That's that's the universe telling us to stop.
Shut the fuck up.
Shut up.
Should we wrap it there?
I think we should wrap it there. I think that's a good place to end it.
Did you memorize your outro from last week?
I did not.
Well, yeah. Look, first guest on the podcast this week. Thank you, Jack, for
You
coming.
did
on.
quite well, mate. You did
Did
well.
well. How
Thank
rattled
you.
were you at the start?
I wasn't actually that bad.
Wasn't
I
too
felt
bad?
really comfortable.
You know,
Oh, that's good.
I saw
I
him
was-
shaking a fair bit actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was that because? No, don't.
It's like-
it's a shit joke.
Well, say it, mate.
It's a
The other
Monday
ones are pretty
shake.
shit
We-
too.
we-
we've
Yeah,
come
it's a
across
Monday.
it.
Yeah,
It's a
actually, it was the Monday shakes. to
It's
be
the
fair.
Monday Shakes.
No.
Thank you always for joining us on the Barflies podcast. Look, follow us on Instagram,
TikTok,
TikTok,
all reputable platforms.
all reputable platforms.
We haven't busted that out for a while, actually. The old reputable platform.
big
You're
R
gonna,
word.
Yeah.
you're gonna plug your Tinders?
Should we?
Hinge.
Should have heard them before this. Absolutely
No.
disgraceful.
Oh, that is disgusting.
Absolutely
No.
disgraceful.
I haven't been on Hinge in weeks. Oh no, Cody loves it the most.
I've been on Hinge, but you got Tinder Gold last week. didn't you?
Don't look at me like that.
I believe it.
Let's wrap it up.
There's some secrets you don't know.
Thank you for joining us. Have a good week.
Have a great week.
See you later.